Hi, I'm Dr. Marc Sklar with Fertility TV, and in this episode, I'm talking about improving egg quality, so stay tuned. Hi, I'm Dr. Marc Sklar, and welcome back to Fertility TV. I work with couples from all over the world, and if you want to work with me and find out about my online programs, then click this little I right here to get more information. This is my second video on improving egg quality, and in the first video, I talked about the basics of why egg quality happens and where we go from there. So in this one, we're going to get into a little bit more detail, okay? So this one's going to be a little bit more about nutrition, or specifically about nutrition and supplementation. Some of this, I like to think, is a little bit commonplace and makes common sense, but unfortunately what I find when I do speak to patients is we're still doing the wrong things, which is why I keep repeating it. Even though we know that drinking soda is not good for us, we still do it. So I don't want to ignore these areas just because I might think that they're common, or you watching it might say, well, I already know that. Yes, some of you might, but I promise you, many of you need constant reinforcement in this area because making changes to your nutrition is difficult and takes a lot of effort. So the first thing is, which sounds again pretty basic, is eat real food, right? Step away from shopping in boxes and packages. When we go to the grocery store, shop in the perimeter. That's where all the fresh foods are, all the real food is, and stop going down all those aisles unless you really, really need something. Okay, so eat real food. That's above all the most essential piece, which is why I started with it. Number two, avoid artificial foods, artificial sugars. Okay, these things are man-made, they cause havoc to the body, and they just cause more inflammation and more problems. So stay away from them. Again, coming back to the first premise of eating real food, and artificial sugar and fake foods, as I like to call them, is not real food. So step away from those. Number three, avoid the trans fats. We need real fats. Fats are important. They're really an essential piece of hormone regulation for women, but we need to get away from the bad fats and eat the good fats. Number three, I did start with this because I talked about sodas already, but I want you to avoid all the sodas and all the fruit juices. These are all just full of sugar. They're sugary drinks, which kind of takes us to a second place, right? We talked about it before, which is avoiding sugars as well. We want to decrease sugar in our body because we do know that that causes inflammation. And there's plenty of research that does show that it's actually sodas and artificial sugar and increased sugars in whatever form that actually increase cardiovascular disease, okay? And so they cause tons of inflammation, and for many of us, they might cause cardiovascular disease, but for many of us as well in reproductive age, they might hinder and cause problems with egg quality. Dairy is a hot topic. I like to ask patients to avoid dairy overall. I do think that in general, when I look at the scope of all my patients, that in general, most of my patients who come off of dairy do much better. If you are going to have some dairy, then we need to be very particular about the source and what it looks like. But in general, I would ask you to avoid dairy as well. And then lastly, in the nutritional kind of do's and don'ts is avoid caffeine and alcohol. It might sound like I just took away all your fun, exciting foods and all your vices. There are other things we can do. There are other things we can enjoy in life. But I would say for the time being, while we're trying to really improve egg quality, then caffeine and alcohol are definitely no-nos. Now into supplementation. Actually, supplementation is one of the more common questions that I get asked when it comes to egg quality. What can I take? What can I do? How do I incorporate these things into my diet and lifestyle? The first thing that I want to stress for all of you is that I wholeheartedly believe that there's no one-size-fits-all for everybody. Okay. The supplement recommendations that I'm about to lay out for you, yes, many, if not all of them, could be taken by all of you. However, I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all, and I do think that once you have solid understanding of what's going on in a diagnosis, that it's more important that a customized plan be guided towards your needs and your issues than what I'm saying here, but you can use this as a framework or outline. Okay. So first, some of the things I'm going to mention have plenty of research around it, and others I've just seen in clinical practice and in theory make a lot of sense for changing egg quality as well. So number one is going to be CoQ10. There's plenty of research about coenzyme Q10 improving egg quality. I don't really need to go into too much detail on that. I would tell you that that's one of the more easy things to incorporate for everybody is adding CoQ10 into your diet. I do get a question about CoQ10 versus ubiquinol. I will say that there's really not that much of a difference other than you're going to be taking less of one and more of the other. You'll be taking more CoQ10, less ubiquinol. CoQ10 costs less, ubiquinol costs more. You know, there's a give and take. I think essentially you're going to be spending about the same amount of money. You just got to decide what dosage you want and what form. It's important that we provide the proper nutrients and nutrition to our cells, and getting enough veggies and greens is one of those ways. But many of us have a hard time doing that in our regular diet, so I like to supplement with a green supplement or a green powder. It's got to be organic and of good quality, of course, but this is going to provide all the proper nutrients to the cells that we need and gets you all your servings of fruits and vegetables as well, which is nice. One of my favorites is maca. I do like to recommend maca. I will say we do have to be careful with this. I don't think this is one that everyone can take. I do think it needs to be specific to your needs. And I will also say that I'm very particular about the kind of maca that you take. I have other videos on maca itself, and so you can watch that. I will say that I don't recommend just a generic maca powder, or just getting it from the store. My favorite one is Natural Health International. It's the only one I recommend because it's customized to different women at different ages of your life. But even that we do need to be careful of. I don't think it's a one size fits all, so be mindful of that as well. Fish oils, I talk about this often. Essential fatty acids are essential. That's why it's part of the name. I do think fish oils is good for everybody, and I would like for everyone to get it. I will say that it's essential, the type of fish oil you're getting, that it does need to be in triglyceride form to be more absorbable. That does make it a little bit more costly, but most fish oils out on the market, especially the cheap ones, are not in this form, and they're not great for you. One of my favorite things to do as kind of like my replacement for a prenatal, if you will, is desiccated liver or liver gland. Grass-fed liver is awesome. You can take it in pill form, or you can take it, if you like the organ meat itself, you can cook it up and eat it that way as well. It's the most nutrient-dense food that we can consume, and it's rich in so many vitamins and minerals that it can essentially be your multivitamin or your prenatal if you want. With that, you'd have to supplement with a methylated folate, but outside of that, you're doing really well if you're consuming liver. D3. Vitamin D3 is crucial for egg quality. There's a lot of research around vitamin D3 and AMH. It's one of the only nutrients found in every cell. I mean, I can go on and on and on. There's tons of research on its effect for almost any health condition. I do think that's a key vitamin to supplement with. Again, with all of these, quality is really important, but that's an important one to put at the top of your list. Ionisitol, myo-ionisitol, there's plenty of research that shows that it's beneficial for egg quality. It's also used quite a bit for PCOS and managing blood sugar levels as well. But it's a simple one to incorporate, usually found in powder, and I like to add that into my smoothies in the morning if I'm taking it. And then always when we start talking about egg quality and reproductive anti-aging, then we're always talking about antioxidants, okay? And antioxidants are huge for cleaning up the body, getting rid of free radicals, and providing proper nutrients and nourishment to the cells. And so some of the basic key ones that I really like are gonna be pine bark for egg quality, resveratrol as well, that comes from grapes, from wine, and glutathione, like basically the super antioxidant that our body creates. So those are some of my key favorites when it comes to supplementation. I do have 2 other videos on the egg quality topic. If you want more information on this video and links for all the others, then click on the link below in the description. It will take you straight to my blog post, and you'll have all the resources there. Thanks so much, and until the next video. Are you looking for more information on how to improve your fertility, tips, useful information, how-tos, words of encouragement, then you need to be part of my community. You can sign up for my newsletter right here.